Welcome back. In this episode, we're going to go over the short story by Anne McCaffrey called Between, or as now I'm messing up the name of it in my head. Beyond Between, that's it. Um, which appears in Legends 2, um, put together by Robert Silverberg. Um, this one I've been waiting for a while to get to this one because we always hear of the riders and the dragons going between, and but we don't really. The only thing that we see is just that there's that darkness for 3 seconds or 8 seconds that they're going in between time. So we don't really know a whole lot about it. This story carries on from Moretta, Dragon Lady of Pern. So if you haven't watched that video, you might want to go back and watch that video because it kind of will. This video will kind of sort of piggyback off of that. Um, it's after Morita makes the mistake of not giving Larry's dragon the right image, the right visual. Just saying this is our last jump between. Not saying that we have to go home to Fort Weir, just that this is our last jump between. And when that happens, the dragon just jumps, goes between, and then they're stuck. So what we see in this is she's stuck there, and the dragon can't go anywhere. And we come across, I guess, a familiar face somewhat, depending if you've gone back to the first past books, Marco Galliano. Um, and he's significant because he was the first one to die going between. Um, Going way, like I said, way back to the first pass books. Um, to for him and his dragon to avoid a space cruiser coming at them, they go between, and neither of them were expecting that, and they were lost. So he's basically been between for 1,500 years, and he's got this little paradise island that he kind of hangs out at. Now, the overall theme here is there something rather than nothing after, and it's kind of a philosophical kind of book, a philosophical book, and I like the way she works Rene Descartes' cogito ergo sum, therefore I think, therefore I am, into it. Moretta has no idea what she's talking about. Of course, Marco, being on Earth, remembers the old Latin saying. Um, but they work it down to, Marco says, I've never seen this before. A rider coming without its own dragon on somebody else's dragon, the wrong dragon. And that's why she's stuck there. And she has to get the attention of the minor fort holder who is there. And by the name of Theniel. And to send a message to the Weir that, come, this is where we're at, come get us. But he doesn't see her. The runner beast sees them every time they come out of between, because they can jump to the last place that they were, which was the water hole. But they can't go any farther. They can't go forward. It's just to water hole and back between, and that's it. So she's trying to send this message to them, and meanwhile, Marco and they're trying. Everybody's trying to figure out what is there. And Marco has a theory that dragons are immortal. Their their skin doesn't really break down. Their organs don't deteriorate. Yes, they can be injured and killed by threat, but naturally they could probably live forever because their organs don't break down the way ours do, and they don't have, they there's nothing that degenerates them. Um, so he tends to think that the dragons could live forever, but they don't, because the loss of the rider is too much pain for them, and therefore they go between and basically die. Once Moretta is in between, Marco tells her, you can't go forward. You're dead. That's it. You're done. And again, the question, or the overlying, I think, question is there something rather than nothing? Is there something in us beyond the skin and bones that we see that lives on after the body dies? Is there the spirit, basically? Now, she does not give an argument for any religious viewpoint. Um, it's just sort of the exploration of there being this something, and she's stuck in that something while she's waiting for Larry and Orlith to come between, because she's on the wrong dragon. So the message that she sends is to have Larry and Orlith come to Waterhole Hole. That way they can basically swap dragons and jump between for that last time with their dragons. We already know that Orlith's eggs, they've hatched. Aquilina impressed the queen. So there was a happy moment for all of them there before they jump between. Now, where they go once they jump between and they go off on their own, it doesn't go any further. That's where it ends. But Marco says in the story that, I've tried following Dragon and Rider, and there's just gray. And I keep thinking I see the end of it, but it keeps going. It's just gray. So, really, what is there afterwards? I mean, you have, the Egyptians believe that they joined the gods, and all the treasure that they had buried with them, followed them. The Greeks believed that there was Hades, nothing. Socrates didn't know and said, I didn't know, so how can I fear it? You know, the Christians obviously believe that there is a heaven, there is a hell, that there's somewhere that we go after death. And I think Anne wants to push the idea that there is something afterwards, that it's not just you die and there's nothing. Maybe you go off to your own personal paradise, the way Marco is at Paradise Cove, where, he was trying to catch up with Tillich's people. That's kind of his area. Maybe Larry and Moretta go to somewhere that is special for them. We don't know. Anne doesn't give us that insight. Other than just, again, a matter of what you believe, is what this boils down to. What do you believe in? Is there a spirit? Is there more to us than just skin and bones, brain, heart, organs, all of that stuff? Is there something that makes us who we are that can't go back to nothing? Because there have been arguments saying, once you have energy created, that energy can't just go into nothing. It has to stay into existence. So if we are an energy, where do we go? And it's an age-old philosophical question. What lies on the other side? And people who have had near-death experiences can kind of tell you what they've experienced. But is it actually that way? I mean, we've had doctors and scientists tell us, well, when you're near death, that you see the it's just a natural thing that that your brain sees the bright light that you feel like you're going toward. It's not anything, it's not anything unusual. But again, it's a matter of opinion. It's a matter of belief. What do you believe? Um, if you believe that there's something, then I would say that there is. My personal belief is I think there is. I think I would probably go with my theory in here on ants is that when we pass, we kind of go to our own paradise, our own place that's special. Um, if that's really the case, I don't know. It's what I'd like to believe that we were surrounded by the people that we loved and lost. Um, so that in the nutshell is the story. I'd give it 5 stars on Goodreads, but obviously I can't do that until I've read this whole book. But it's the end of the 6th pass, so the 9th pass is coming up, the final pass, and I'm looking forward to that. So stay tuned as we're working our way through the series. We're getting there. Going to be getting to the old books, even though in terms of chronological, they're the 9th pass. The new supposed to be newer. So as always, please like, subscribe, turn on the notification button so you know when new videos come on out. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought of this story, what you think. Even if you have a personal belief that you want to share, drop it below, or you can leave your Goodreads name. You can hook up on there and see what each other's reading, or you can just, even suggest what you think I might read and review and chat about. So, yeah, until next time, keep YouTube literate, and God bless.